Hello, 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 and Happy New Year. Happy 2025. It's me. I'm Jen Schiffer, and this is my YouTube stream, the first one of the new year. Hey, Stefan. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining. Why isn't the chat? Why aren't you in the flames? Why isn't he in the flames? You should be in the flames widget. 2FS modeling, hey. There we go. Maybe Stefan chatted before the widget started firing up. Everyone deserves to be in the chat flame. Seathos, hey, how's it going? I think just like Streamlabs is a little weird. Anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. If you know who I am, hello, thanks for joining me. And if you don't know who I am, hello, thanks for joining me. My name's Jen Schiffer. I'm an artist and a web developer and drinker of fluids. I've got my sugar-free iced tea, and I have a hot lemon tea in my sweet water mug. Nora, welcome both to the chat and to the flames. I hope you're having a happy new year. Everyone, get in the fire with me. Fire, chat, and stream with me. David Lynch is shaking right now. Let me know how the audio is. Is the music too loud? Is my voice too loud or not enough? I'm just done steeping my Lipton black tea. Little tea ASMR. I love that whenever you make a sound into a microphone that's not you whispering, that's not you whispering, it's like, oh, ASMR. When that's like probably not the case. So let's get into it. It's New Year. It's a new year. Happens every year, so nothing too special, honestly, but always a blessing to make it to another one. I had a nice night my last day of 2024. I went to my best friend's house. She lives near a couple blocks away. I brought her one of my new candles, and her partner gave us a jar of spicy chili oil that he had made. And this morning I made breakfast and put the chili oil on some eggs, and it was really good. It's just, I'm hoping this is a year of people continuing to or starting to just like make things. And there's some makers in the chat. Nora makes some really awesome jewelry and glass things. So I find Nora, your work to be very inspiring, and I will continue to and increasingly make things in the year. I just smacked my knuckle on my glass chug glass, so that's exciting for me. So yeah, we went out to her friend's place. It was just the four of us. Had a nice little meal. I made pigs in a blanket, a meat hot dog style and a vegetarian style, and it was a huge hit. The recipe was from Bon Appetit, which is French for good appetite, right? I made them Chicago style. I'm not from Chicago. I'm from New York. But these were a huge hit. So basically you wrap the cocktail weenie, add yellow mustard. I use Dijon. Dijon's yellow. Celery salt, cornichon. I didn't do the egg part because I ran out of time. I had everything bagel seasoning, so I used that instead of just poppy seeds. And we didn't have relish, so I just brought more Dijon to dip into. And so you just wrap. What I did was I got the crescent roll dough out, which never looks as good as in the food photos, of course. And then you wrap it with the hot dog and the cornichon. I put a little Dijon mustard down before I wrapped it and some celery salt. And then when you roll it up, I just patted the everything bagel seasoning. I'm going to make another batch today because I have some of the crescent roll dough left over, and I don't think it keeps all that long out of the scary thing. Oh my gosh, I gave myself a heart attack twice opening the Pillsbury crescent roll dough. You know, when you have to like unravel the paper and then you're like, I'm an adult, I can do this, and then it pops and you revert back to the first time you've ever remember being scared as a child because you're from the 80s and Freddy Krueger was introduced to you at way too young an age. But yeah, these were a hit. I don't eat meat though, and I normally don't handle meat in my home, but I did have hot dogs, and hot dogs, let's be honest, hot dogs are barely meat, but I made them vegetarian style. So this is a vegetarian pigs in a blanket, and it's using carrots, and carrots are actually a very versatile vegetable. You can make it, it's like kind of like tofu, but like a different flavor and texture. And so you get the baby carrots. I did a little bit different of a marinade. I forgot what I changed. But essentially it's just like soy sauce, vegetable broth, rice vinegar, liquid smoke. Liquid smoke is the most important ingredient. It, like, if you smell it like on its own, you probably would gag and be like, I'm never going to use this. But like use like half a teaspoon and you can make slices of carrots taste like bacon. You can make the carrots taste like hot dogs. It's if you're a vegetarian or even if you're a meat eater, it's good to have on hand, and it's cheap, and like any grocery store I've ever been to has had it. Garlic, I like minced garlic, but my garlic mincer thing, the plastic part of the handle came off, so it's just metal, so it's painful to use. So I'll say half the clove was minced and I just threw the other whole clove in, because you just marinate it overnight, and of course it never looks as aesthetic as this. It does get the liquid all over your fridge, so I put it on a plate, whatever, and then you boil it until like it's got a little bit of a bite to it but not like it's raw, and then you just like do your thing. And so then you go back to the actual recipe that you're working on, and yeah, it was a hit. I took a photo of the carrots boiling in a pot, and I'm going to use the rest of the dough later and take photos of it and probably post it on Live Laugh blog. But they were a hit. Everyone enjoyed them, and I always make them like, they didn't have cocktail weenies at the grocery store because I shopped for this on New Year's Eve or the day before. So I did buy regular hot dogs and cut them up in like, I cut them lengthwise and then in half. So they're a little bit bigger than cocktail weenies. But then like you don't have to cut the dough as much, and that dough is a real pain to work with. Anyway, you asked, what did you guys do for New Year's? Let me know in the chat. And then we got home. It was like nice out yesterday, and I'm in Jersey City, and when we were at my friend's place, it started like lightning and thundering and pouring, and I knew it was gonna rain. Fortunately, we ended up staying longer than we had intended. We got home around like 11:30, because I just wanted to be home when the ball dropped. I just wanted to be inside before any like chaos ensued, and the rain had stopped, so I didn't get drenched on the way home like I anticipated. So that was an end of 2024 win. And then I washed my face and we just like kind of hung out for the rest of the night, and it was nice. I finished the year off with my non-alcoholic hot toddy, which is just like a hot toddy but with non-alcoholic bourbon, which I like. If you don't drink alcohol and you can drink drinks that taste like alcohol without it harming you, there's some really good non-alcoholic bourbons out there. I mean, good in that like gets the job done. It's not gonna like have the flavor profile or whatever, but yeah. Stefan, yesterday was your birthday. I saw that at the end of the night. I went on Mastodon. Shouts out to my Mastodon friends. And shout out to you. Happy birthday. You did an escape room. It's so interesting. You paid to be locked in a room and had to do puzzles to escape. I guess I've had friends that worked on the designs of escape rooms, which I thought was cool, but I've never actually done an escape room. I feel like life is an escape room, and life is not free, so I would say it's not cheaper than doing an actual fun escape room. But that's cool. That must have been a fun exercise. At least I hope that you had fun. Did you escape? Did you see the I think like the first or second episode of the new Beavis and Butthead, new as in like I think a couple years ago they like booted back up again. There's an escape room episode where they go to do the escape room and they make a wrong turn and end up in a bathroom, a women's room, and they think that's the escape room. And it really just drives home the fact that anywhere you are in this world, in this society, is an escape room, right? But that was a funny episode. Stefan says the door is never locked. They're mostly just even like, yeah, I know what escape room is. I'm being like a pill about it. I know that like you can leave whatever you want. It's not like Jigsaw's not like in charge of it. But again, you never know. You never know. One day you might go into the wrong escape room. But yeah, but that's cool. I hope that was a nice birthday. And I hope that you escaped on your own terms and not that you had to be let out. Speaking of Mastodon, I did want to do some social shout outs. Mastodon's the only social platform I'm on right now besides YouTube. Blue Sky deactivated. It was making my depression worse. But yeah, I didn't realize I was going to show the recipe for the carrots. People were like, how do you make carrots taste like hot dog? You can use all those ingredients and marinate the carrot, but the most important part is the suspension of the imagination. That's always an important thing when people are like, oh, it doesn't even like taste like carrots, or like if you try to make tofu taste like tempeh taste like bacon, it's like it doesn't really taste like bacon. Like, we know we're doing an imagination of the food that we are consuming so that it aligns with our values. Give me a break. But yeah, anyway, key is liquid smoke. Another thing is yesterday was my and Puma Greg's 10-year anniversary. Since I adopted him, I was posting a cute photo of him, and I had written all the alt text for it, and then I accidentally clicked the refresh button on my browser for some reason, and I was like, son of a bitch. Let me see if I can just hold up the photo of Puma and see how it shows. Let's see. There he is. This looks like shit. I'll post it on Mastodon later. He was on his little heating pad wrapped in a blankie or a towel. He was here just before, but I went to pour my tea and he thought that meant that I was going to feed him, because clearly that's what our kitchen is for, is purely for feeding him. We feed him at the same time, the same number of times every day, but every day he's like, maybe this will be the day that things change. And you know, God bless him for that. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it from my end. Today's a rest day for me in terms of like gym or lifting. And I'm glad to have the rest because I went hard the last couple of days, but I kind of am feeling weirdly FOMO about not going to the gym on the first day of the new year. I feel like there's a lot of good new resolution energy that I should be around. And tomorrow's a lifting at home day, not a gym day, but I think I might switch it up so I can go to the gym. I know it will be packed, but like, I don't know. Does that make me a gym bro? Oh my gosh, Mike just subscribed. Mike, are you here? Hello. Happy New Year. Bracken, 11 out of 10, Puma Greg. Yeah. Maybe if I call him over, he won't come to the sound of my voice because he hears it nonstop now that I'm at home all the time. It's not novel to him. It's the rustling of a bag that might perhaps have something that he can eat. But yeah. And Mike in the chat, I'm gonna say hi to my buddy Mike. Mike, I got your holiday card in the mail. I meant to text you. Happy New Year. And Sithas, thank you for saying happy adoptiversary. It's been 10 years of living with Puma Greg. And when I got him, they said that he's like 1 or 2 years old. I'm thinking he was 1 year old, but he still just is like soft and maybe a little bit bigger than he was when we got him. So we've been saying that he might be like a Highlander cat. He might be a cat that lives forever. Now, Puma Greg was a trap and release cat, so he's got a clipped ear, which means that he was out and feral and whatever, and he got caught in a trap, like a big dumbass. He's a little dumb. He got caught in a trap, and then they cut off his balls, his little balls, and cut off the tip of his ear, so that if he were to be caught again, they would be like, oh no, he can go. I guess like it's not reliable enough to check if he still has his little balls or not. I'm just a person that enjoys that the trap and release program, but I don't know how it works. But yeah, and then it's a long story about how he ended up adopted by me. It involved a cat hoarder, an upper respiratory infection, a boy that was giving me a lot of strife, a cat adoption event downtown, and me being like, yes, I have to have this cat live with me. I had my cat Jeffrey at the time. We have a Jeffrey in this painting back here. Rest in peace, Jeffrey. So there's a time where I had my two black voids, my little kitty cats. This is a velvet painting that a few really great lady and tech friends commissioned for me when Jeffrey passed away. And then Puma really kind of like took over the place, and we realized he seems to really like being on his own, like being the only cat. He thinks Andy's a cat, which makes sense. Andy is a hairy dude, and they both love each other. I always say, like, I'm outnumbered by cats at home. But yeah. So, Sila says we've been saying that of our Onyx. He still acts like a kitten at 17. Oh, that's so sweet. What are your resolutions this year? I'm going to start getting my website set up for yous while I get ready to code. Yeah, what are your, do you have resolutions or like intentions? I don't really do New Year's resolutions because my birthday is February 11th and I'm turning 40, which I'm excited about. New decade. And I usually like do my like intentions then, because my world revolves around me, or at least I am the person causing the revolutions of my world. If I'm orbiting the sun. Just the fact that I happen to be on Earth with the rest of y'all is just like some weird science thing. But I was thinking about how like I know I have a lot of friends who have resolutions, and so a good New Year's resolution is to set the intention to help them meet their goals and resolutions. So I'm in this like state of like actively listening to my friends about what they want to do and seeing where I can help out. And one way is to help myself through my latest chain of major depressive episodes I've been going through. My thyroid has been good. Those who don't know, I have Hashimoto's disease, and my thyroid is good, but when your thyroid is good with thyroid disease, your chances of depression go up, and that's been proven. I'm an example, but I'm doing well now, but I'm going into the next part of my menstrual cycle, and that's usually like a trigger, and so I'm trying to like be more social and continue my workout regimen and kind of act like none of that is going on, so that maybe it can pass. Lifting weights is like good for hormonal imbalances, especially going into my age as a woman, heading into I forgot someone I have a friend who she has just turned 50 and is starting to go through menopause, and she was reading like old literature about it and just like the wild misogynist terms used for it, that we use ourselves as like a joke, but it's all leaving my head. Anyway, this is jenschiffer.com. This is my website, and I wanted to update it for the new year. And it's a glitch app, and it has a dynamic background where if you click, it will change the color. Let me make sure I have the right scene on. Yeah, cool, you can see it. And you can like move and close elements. And that is largely in part an homage and taken from my pixel art editor, Make 8-Bit Art. That's a little bonefish I was making for a painting. So I made this draggy div plugin 10 years ago. I was working at the NBA when I like was making I was adding this to Make 8-Bit Art. So I figured I'd do an homage to that because Make 8-Bit Art is such a big project of mine. But I haven't updated my site since December 12th. And I figured we'll take a look at it. It's on Glitch. I don't think it's... Oh, it's public. Okay, so you can remix it and have my website as your website. I designed it. It's my own thing, so you're welcome to replace all the content with your own. Just don't pretend to be me. That wouldn't get you anywhere. I have an autoimmune disease and I'm unemployed. So I'm really like not, although I still have yet to go to reach peak. But I'm kind of in life is valleys, a highway rolling on a valley, a winding road, if you will. And so this is not the time to remix my website. Come back to me in 6 months. Come back to the website in 6 months, and then you can remix it and impersonate me. So jenschiffer.com is just HTML and JavaScript. I'm not using any static site generator. I literally have an index.html page. If you're not familiar with code or how websites are made, if you ever made an HTML page and then you upload it to a hosting service and then you went to your domain and said page not found, it's because you probably didn't name the file index.html. That's one of the biggest basic HTML support questions that I would get when I worked at Glitch, which is this editor that I'm working in. And so that's why this is called index.html. Yeah. So let's see, jenschiffer.com. Let's see some of the things. So I made a list of like possible edits to make in my planner. I got a cute planner this year. I've been watching a lot of stationery YouTube in my dramatic increase in downtime and became stationery pilled. And so I have this cute Hobonichi weekly planner that's got cherries on it. And it's like thin paper. I got the mega, so I have a lot of like note pages because I have lots of things to say and I have lots of things to write. And yeah, I just like you have the weeks on one side, so I mark down like a lot of it's just gym. My job is gym, therapy, laundry, and then like candle paint and airbrush. And I've got the gym rotation and the lifting rotation down, And what I want to get into next is the arts and craft kind of scheduling rotation so that it just becomes muscle memory. Anyway, so I made a list of things that I can do today on my website. So yeah, let's get into it. So one thing about my website is that there's no dark mode. That's probably the one thing people have asked for that like go to my website. They'll say like, is there a dark mode? Because I do have a dark mode for Live Laugh blog. And why would I reinvent the wheel when I could just copy what's in Live Laugh blog? And Live Laugh blog happens to be a glitch site. So this one's not public code, so you can't remix my blog because there be scammers out there. I don't know if you guys know this. There be scammers out there. And I work supporting community, trust safety for a large developer platform. I've seen some shit. Hopefully not too much shit, but there be scammers. So I have dark mode set up as like a toggle. My blog is an 11D blog, and let's see. I have my light and dark mode stuff set here. So I think this is from Andy Bell. I think Andy Bell, you did a blog post about how to do dark mode that listens to your system settings but also lets you toggle it, because I'm a person that I like light mode broadly. Like I think most people's sites light modes are nicer and easier on my eyes than dark mode. We're all different. We're different. Being different is beautiful. And so let me see if I can find, did I get rid of, I used to have a folder of bookmarks that I kept to revert back to, and I might have accidentally deleted it. Maybe, yeah. Anyway, I think Andy Bell wrote a blog post about how to have people be able to toggle it but also listen to your settings. And so so said is dark mode for a manifesto, the one with no hope for the future versus the aspirational one. You know, you could see it that way. It, you know, the whole dark mode thing to me came out of like nowhere, and it is an accessibility issue, but initially the most I heard about it was like a style issue, and a lot of dark modes were just like great. I called it like everyone was making their website look like their tech hoodies, but then it was like we've started to see people be more, I don't know, artsy and stylish about it. So Live Laugh blog if you go to it initially, it will be dark or light depending on how you have your operating system set to it. And that's because you can pull in the data, the user's color scheme, prefers color scheme is the CSS attribute. So if your operating system says dark, then I set like a default. But I also have to create the dark scheme for outside the preferences so that you can have a toggle. So I prefer light mode, but there's some sites where I like to see what dark modes are, so I want a toggle. So it's the best of both worlds, but it's like kind of tricky to do. I did it with Live Laugh blog. I'm not going to try to do it all over again, so I'm going to copy from this. There are other operating system settings that CSS can target. One is like prefers reduced motion. I'm a prefers reduced motion girly. I don't have it turned on right now, but like if I hit this prettier button, confetti comes out. It's one of my favorite. Like Glitch was using the sparkle emoji before anyone else did for AI, and they continue to use it, but it's for code formatting. But if you have preferred reduced motion turned on, like if motion makes you nauseous, then hitting that button just prettifies the code. It doesn't have the confetti coming off, and that's because the browser and CSS can now see those settings. Stefan says, I assume dark mode took over as soon as OS X started to do it with native apps, and some group of Apple enjoyers want everything to look native. Yeah, there's like a lot of, like, it just culturally, it wasn't about accessibility. Accessibility was always important, but the way that like people were hyping up dark mode, but only bringing up accessibility when people are arguing about not wanting to do dark mode, flat out, the majority of people that build websites do not actually give a fuck about accessibility. If JavaScript developers who push for certain frameworks put half as much energy that they do into that as they do into accessibility, we would, like, all sites would be accessible. They would be able to make that important thing. And some people are like, oh, well, it's deprioritized because it doesn't like make money, capitalism. Like, online stores have paid tons of money and also lost tons of money in lawsuits for not being compliant so that all people can use their websites. So like capitalism isn't exactly a thing that like plays as much into it as people will argue. I always tell those people then, like, just say that like it's not a priority for you. Like, because, people fundamentally care about the things that they are most well versed to argue about. And yeah, anyway, let's copy and paste some of the CSS into my website and see what happens. Okay, so let me just copy this block and see how well my code came in here. There's also JavaScript involved, by the way. Content warning. I do use JavaScript. Here's my style. This is a service worker that I don't have turned on yet, so ignore that. But here's my CSS. It's less than 200 lines for now. And what we're going to do is we're just going to paste that there. And this sets variables. So one variable is color mode. And different attributes here. So this shouldn't change my website at all yet because I'm not using CSS variables in any of my web page. Let's look at the JavaScript. JS means JavaScript here, not Jen Schiffer. That's right. Here you go. Oh my gosh, Jen Schiffer, you are a freaking genius. Here. It was from Andy Bell. I was correct. So Andy Bell wrote this great post, create a user-controlled dark or light mode. Ever since the prefers color scheme media query landed, folks have been rolling out themes for the websites as often as they use the entire React library to power a hamburger menu on their static blog. A lot of the time, folks rightly add a dark light switch to give the user a choice. Oftentimes, though, folks will do one of the most dangerous things in design, make a presumption and roll out a dark theme if the user's operating system preference is dark mode, and just leave it at that. It's important to not make presumptions in design if you can help it. So I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to honor the user's operating system preference by default, but also give them a toggle button to change their preference manually. There's a video. Here's all the code samples. And this is like where it came from. You might recognize some of this. So I'm going to post this link in the chat. Okay, cool. I accidentally added a slash when I hit enter, but it should work. So yeah, shouts out Andy Bell. This is a post from May 2019, which is like a couple of years before I added it to Live Laugh Blog. It's a couple of years before I a year before I made Live Laugh Blog. Live Laugh Blog was a performance piece during quarantine that I did that then just became my regular blog. So here, and then, storage key. So once a person toggles light and dark on your site, you want to save that for when they come back. And so you save that to local storage. So that's what I'm doing here. And then the colored mode key is the beginning of like the color mode variable. Remember here I have color mode, dark. We want to toggle that whenever we click a button. So I have a toggle button, and my image on Live Laugh Blog changes. I used to have an image. Is that an image? No, this is a font. I used to have an image, so I don't really need that anymore. I'm not going to delete anything on my blog right now. So we get computed style. Let's see. I forget what this is. I guess this is getting the property. Prop key. When do we call this? Oh, okay, that takes in the color mode key. So we get whether the site is currently in light or dark mode. And we set that to what the button label and status is. So it changes whether this says dark mode or light mode. I wish I commented that better. We set the button label and status, that inner text. And yeah, and then we apply everything. So this is the only JavaScript that like is used for like the user to like mess around with. So the great thing is like, if you don't have JavaScript turned on your computer for some reason, because there's always somebody that's like, I turn off JavaScript just to see if the website still works. It still works. It's just that dark mode will only be determined by your operating system settings, which is enough of a fallback. Same with genshifter.com. Someone was like, this isn't going to work if I turn off JavaScript. It will work. You just won't be able to like move or close things. I do have it show all that. So I think of that stuff. It's just like, I understand websites should work and be accessible when JavaScript is not available. But sometimes the way people come at me about it is very obnoxious, and that's on like me to navigate. I'm just gonna copy this entire thing, and I'm gonna add for genshifter.com now that we're back on. So I'm gonna I'll keep that. I have JavaScript for that graph paper drawing background. I have a JavaScript library for draggy divs, which is the ability to move the boxes around. P5.js, which the graph paper one uses. And the service worker, again, is not being used right now. And then P5, of course. So let's add a new file. What is it? _public / what am I gonna call this file? Color mode. It's that here. And I'm in index.js. You see, I commented out the PWA service worker stuff because I haven't gotten to it, but let me add that to the list in my planner. Service workers. To make it a progressive web app so you can see it when you go offline. If you have no internet and you're like, oh, I went to Jen's site and I wish I could go there right now, then you can do it. let's see. And we'll call in color mode. So the first thing about color mode is it needs, well, one, we can get rid of. It says I cannot be removed, but I will be removed because I don't have a no JavaScript mode. Actually, wait a second. If there's no JS, I'll probably want to hide the toggle. That's it. That's right. Okay. Because what this does is this will remove the Node.js class wherever it exists if JavaScript exists. If JavaScript exists, this line's not going to do anything because it's JavaScript. So like it's turned off, so it's not going to do it. And so you want your site by default to think that JavaScript is not enabled. But if it is enabled, then it can remove this, and then you can also use the class to like hide things. Like we would want to hide the dark mode toggle if JavaScript doesn't exist, because otherwise if JavaScript doesn't exist and you see that button, you're going to click it and nothing's going to happen. I know that probably came out all convoluted, but we'll use it. I'm going to keep it. It's right. I cannot be removed. So let's see here. Storage key, live laugh mode. Because this is where we're going to get from local storage what the user setting is if they click that button. I'm going to call it jenschiffer.com mode. Because if you go to live laugh blog and jenschiffer.com, you want those to have separate settings. Because maybe you like dark mode on live laugh blog, which, okay, that's cool. Thank you. I hate it. And but you like light mode on jenschiffer.com, which will exist in like a million years because I talk too much during these streams. We don't need logo changes, so we can get rid of the logo image stuff, and that doesn't cause any errors on glitch. Oh, got a little line there. Toggle button. We need a toggle button, so we need a button that has an ID toggle mode. So let's just like add that. And maybe someone's not on the stream and they're on my website and they'll see a button like show up and be like, what the frick is this? So let's see. I'm gonna put button ID equals toggle mode. And let's see. Put dark mode soon. So if anyone's there is like, what the hell? Okay, we got dark mode. I should probably move. I'll have to move the default for current status down. But then I'll have to move all the items around because when you're on mobile, all these windows, I'm pointing to my screen like I should point with the cursor. All of these windows will go down if you're on a smaller screen. So if I move this up, like if I add stuff to this, I have to move everything down, which is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. It's not like the worst fucking thing in the world, but anyway. Dark mode, light mode, dark mode, light mode. Oh, you see how the toggle already works as I'm moving it? We don't have to rewrite that because we're reusing code that exists. Like I reuse the code from Andrew Bell's great blog post, and you could reuse it from that or from mine. This is open source, motherfuckers. Endearingly. And let's look at local storage. I'm using Firefox. jenschiffer has one local storage key. jenschiffer.com mode, remember that, and the value is dark. And if I refresh this page, it will remember that I have it in dark mode, which is why the button says light mode. Click here for light mode. Now light mode, dark mode, light mode, dark mode, light mode, dark mode. I love being on the computer. Okay. So we got that part going on. Let me get out of Live Laugh Blog so I don't accidentally fuck up my blog code for the sake of updating this. Let me remove this soon. Whatever. Okay, color mode. So I probably don't have to update any of the JavaScript here, because the JavaScript was just to set the local storage, get the local storage when you first go to the page. Bracket and Mossbacker says, are you going to have to change the colors of the pixels being drawn beneath your floating windows between light and dark modes? Yes. And that will be the part I have to do the most work on. I have Live Laugh Blog. I probably should have, let me reopen that closed tab. Live Laugh Blog used to have that graph paper background theme, and I have let's see, I'm looking at the old themes. I might have to, I think graph paper. I'm gonna open up Rewind and see. Let's see. This is a visual Git history. I don't know how far back it's gonna go. Okay, it's not gonna go far back enough. Live Laugh Blog used to have a graph paper drawing background. It didn't change colors, but the background was black instead of white. And so that toggle did do that stuff. And I'll just have to see if I could find the code of the det, or we'll just do it from scratch again. But yes, I will have to update all of that. Prettier this. Also, I am gonna put Node.js on the body, or on the button. Class equals Node.js, and in style, I'm gonna put .node.js display none. And then that should Node.js. Did I get that wrong? Document element, class list, remove. Why didn't it remove Node.js? Node.js, not Node.js. I'll look into that. Oh wait, duh. Actually no, never mind. One thing at a time. This is where I need to get a piece. Actually, I have my planner. I will add to the list, figure out the Node.js thing, because I forget what I was doing there. Or I'm missing a piece there, and I don't want that to distract me. Okay. Let's go back. So color mode.js is good to go. So now what we have to do is go back to the CSS and like use these variables. So I have it. So for dark mode, let's see. Color mode dark. White. So this is the stuff for dark mode, but I guess I have to have the default like light mode CSS. So let's reopen the LevLaugh blog code. Because pretty much all you gotta do is set those color variables to the right color values, because they're not, I guess I'll have them match LevLaugh blog. So I have a cohesive set of web properties. So we have these root colors. Let's see. So for the example here, I have my HTML set to the background, and the background color is variable background. My root colors, color mode is set to light. That's the default, and I will keep that as the default. You can keep, if you want the default of your website to be dark mode, you can do that. Also, dark and light, you can name these anything. You can make 20 different color schemes for your website. In fact, the whole idea of me starting doing the dark and light mode is I want to do many modes of my web page, both the color scheme as well as what the background drawing dynamics are. So you can call these anything. I call them light and dark right now, but I might have like light, dark, hot dog stand, if you know, you know. So that people, instead of it being like a toggle, maybe it being a drop down, and then you can have the site be. Now your operating system's not going to let you say that I want all my websites by default to be hot dog stand, because we live in a very dark time. But it's all good. I'm gonna copy this root here and start it out here. And let me remove things that I'm not going to be changing, like font family. I'm gonna change background. I don't think I have an accent color. Definitely have background. Text. Don't have readme. Current but I don't think I'm gonna need this. I'm not gonna need an archive tile. I'm not gonna need a headband background. I'm not gonna need a gradient because my site doesn't have a gradient. So let me remove those things I don't need. Link, link hover, text, border, accent, background, border, text, link, hover, background, border, text, link, link, hover. Okay. And I'm also gonna put this, oh, sorry. Anyway, okay, let's change things to variables. So right here I have background white. So I can say var background. And that will make the body background white. I'm in dark mode right now because I had set it as dark mode. So the background's black. If I turn it to light mode, dark mode is light. And it's literally changing the CSS. Notice it doesn't refresh the background. Like my drawing is still here. So we see it in dark mode and light mode. What I'll probably do, actually I kind of like this JavaScript as it is in dark mode. But yeah. So what are some things that we do want to change the colors of here? We want to change the colors of the boxes, the borders, the buttons, and maybe the links. But this is like darker mode. It's not exactly dark mode, it's light mode. But like this is like the MVP or minimum viable product of dark mode. And with all my yapping about New Year's, and while I'm talking, look, we've got it happening. God bless. But we're not quite done yet. Let me get bye Live Laugh Blog. Love you. Okay, so border black, text black. Bracken said you should change the photograph to have the glasses in light mode and no glass. That's genius. That's so good. Oh my gosh. Wait, I'm gonna write that down and also put your name on it so I can credit you in in the code comments. If you have a website, Bracken, that I can add the comments to credit you on that, let me know. Because you know, I had in Live Laugh Blog, I used to have an image logo, and you saw in that code that I deleted because I didn't need it, that it would change that image. I'm just gonna go back and recopy and paste that so that it applies to what they're talking about is my image right here. But that's funny. That's a great idea. Cool. Okay. I'm also probably gonna want to like move. I can probably move this to be like next to my little flame you have here. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, I gotta stop flashing it. Sorry. You should keep the glasses for both modes, but embed Corey Hart beneath it in dark mode. Okay, what are we doing now? Oh yeah, more things. Let's see everywhere where I list a color. That's where I'll start. So link A, blue. So we have the variable link. Var. Okay, got that. Oh, here we go. Draggy div. These are those boxes. And so I want to create a new variable. Draggy BG, which is by default white. But for dark mode, we'll want to have it be, let's just do like a dark gray for now. I'll figure out a BG. 0, 0. Let's just do like half opacity. One thing you'll notice is that there's a redundancy in the values here. Whatever you put up here, you have to put up here. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to be redundant in order to make something like work. Because the browser and the languages are not really sophisticated enough. If Andy Bell says like you need to do it, then you gotta do it. But yeah, because you're checking if it's not, and then setting it here. And this is for checking the operating system. This is for the JavaScript after the fact. So there needs to be redundancy. So whatever I update here, I gotta update down here. So now I have the draggy background variable. And that should... Oh, that just made the okay. I don't want the opacity to not... I don't want the opacity to be transparent. I need it to be solid so it doesn't get hidden in the background. I'm just gonna do try 333, whatever. I'll mess around with it. And Glitch is like, you need to have it be all threes. No, I don't. Leave me alone. Oh, refresh. There we go. Now we see that my background changes and my links change to purple because that's carried over from Live Laugh Blog. What do I have? I guess Live Laugh Blog, the boxes are black. I'll change this to something better, but text, we don't have, I don't believe I use the color property. So I'm gonna have to add that. Oh yeah, so text. So let's say color bar text. That way it, whoop. There we go. We got the text changed. We can make that background darker, I guess. 222, right? 222 is darker than 333. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a little bit better. So we got that. And let's make the buttons purple. So I have, let's see. Border should be black. I'll change that to bar border. Which I don't know if that... Oh, for Live Laugh Blog, I have the borders white by default. No, it's black. Oh, I do. Oh, for dark mode, I have it set to... No, I want it set to black. We can change that in a bit. That's why I'm gonna keep it there. And I'm also going to... You know what? I kind of like having these arrow triangles here so I know where to go back to when I'm scrolling. So... it's not wrong, it's just the linter for glitch is like, we want all 6 numbers. But you know, we can't always get what we want, so. Okay. So we got that. I want to change these buttons to be the color of the links. And you can set the background color of the button to be link. I don't know what, oh, this summary, these are the links for when you close those boxes. Oh yeah, button, here we go. Like I can do var link and border var border. But I might want to have a different color for the buttons, and I want to be able to change that in the future and not change the links. So I'm going to rename this button BG and then just copy button BG, and that's the light mode version. What did I do? That way, even though they're the same color right now, I'll probably change it, and then I don't want to have to, I'll have to do this again, so I might as well do it now. These are going to change the buttons of my light mode buttons, I believe. Let's see what it does. Okay, so, oh, there we go. Okay, what did I do? There. Link. For a button, I just want it to be... What did I have it as before? I think I just had it as gray, light gray. Let me just put that back. And then... Oh, did I copy link hover here and not link? Yeah, I did, but I like that actually. Oh, I want my border to be black again. Why did I... Why is my border white? Draggy div. Var, border. Oh, maybe it should be 1px solid border. There we go. Same with button. So I guess when you replace the property, when you place the border property with a variable, it doesn't fill in the 1px solid default. It kind of treats it as just a border color property. So you gotta pop that back in. I didn't know that. It's a little weird, but whatever, I'll take it. This is so much nicer. Nice. Okay, so let's move some boxes around. So I have the preview pane and glitch here so that I can have the mobile version available to you, because if I were to move this browser window, it would move the entire thing in the Streamlabs scene, and that's obnoxious. So let's move some of these things down. Okay. So these I set default positions. So current status, the default is 180. I want to maybe... I think I want to put dark mode up here with this menu. So let's do that. Oh yeah. I'm gonna move this button. And I'll put it after the move button, where the close button would be. Dark mode, light mode, dark mode, light mode. Gorgina. That moves my little fire flame down, which is not ideal. But that's okay. It's okay. Oh, I want the fire. I need the fire to be there. I'm gonna move that down to be after my... There you go. And that's fire. Now I'm just like moving things around so that, let's see, vertical line bottom, max width 20. So I guess it calls your attention to when I move this. If I do position relative and top 10px, does that move it down a little? Yes. Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted. Cool. Okay, I got my little fire. I'm gonna put it back to the width I wanted. These things are important, you know? Oh, let me go back. Do I set line height to 0 so it stops moving stuff down? No. Let's do 20. There we go. Okay. So now we just have to move... Just want to move this down just a little smidge. Current... Bracken said, I think about 80% of my time in CSS is changing border properties. Honestly, same. A lot of, in my case, because I do these draggy divs and a lot of like my work for like my interfaces, a lot of it's just doing this now. I'm like, okay, let me just like move this a little smidge. Do 90. There we go. I think if you were to turn off JavaScript, let's see, how do you disable JavaScript? Oh yeah, there you go. If you disable JavaScript on my page, or you don't have JavaScript set up, there's no grid background. And then this is here. And what I want to do is, this should have the Node.js class. Node.js class. And this code should remove it. But I might have to do like a query selector on that. But the page still works. Actually, I should hide all of these buttons on no JavaScript. And I'm not doing that. So that's like on the list to do next. But it doesn't like hide any content from the page. You could still go to all the stuff. I'll just turn the setting back on. So there you go. Oh, it's because I closed the tray. So the page still works, but the ability to draw and move things around is enhanced experience, but not necessary for getting to the content. And that's easy to do when you're not using a framework. This is what happens when you're handcrafted, hand-poured, organic, farm-to-table, hypertext markup language in California style sheets and GenScript. Okay. So got this looking good. Now, woohoo! Hello. Hello, dark mode. Welcome. Now we can say I updated my website. Last updated January 1st, 2024. Yay. Let's see. What else do I want to update on here? Bloop. Oh, if you're local, tri-state area, or if you get on a train and an airplane, and you happen to be able to get to Brooklyn, New York City, January 13th, me and Jamie Brew, we're hosting the first robot karaoke of the new year. What is robot karaoke? That's a great question. So the weird algorithm is as we say here, a karaoke night with a chaotic twist. Sing your favorite songs, and in real time we generate lyrics from various text sets. So imagine, here's an example song, Daisy, Daisy. Give me your answer too. But what if it came from Bernie Sanders' email subject lines? It's outrageous. Thank you for all you do. Goosebump titles is a favorite of mine. Scary summer, scary birthday to you. Pharmaceutical symptoms, Yelp reviews. We have positive and negative Glassdoor reviews, Yelp reviews, the Mean Girl script, all sorts of data text. You pick your song, you pick your set, you come up and you do karaoke. It's lots of fun. It's free. It's at Wonderville, which is an indie arcade that our friends run and own, and it's right off of the Kosciuszko J train stop. I'm coming from Jersey City, so if you're like, I'm in Brooklyn, but that's so far, I'm crossing 2 rivers, state lines. We're talking zip codes, area codes, tax rates. So don't come at me with like it's too far. Keep that to yourself. However far is too far is all relative to each person. I'm not going to hate you for it, but do not come complaining to me about long distance travel for fun. It's worth it. It's a good time. People love it. People have been coming back. And our first show is January 13th, which I believe is a Monday. So when you get out of work, come over. There's a bar. They got hot dogs. My friend Jen De La Vega curates gourmet hot dogs for the bar that changes, I believe, every month. And they got mocktails. So if you're non-alcoholic like me, they also have vegan hot dogs. So if you are like me and don't eat meat, you can also partake in Jen De La Vega's delicious dogs. So I'm going to keep that up on the webpage here. Now, the thing about not using a framework is that all these individual pages on my site, like art and work stuff, I need to do two things. I need to embed color mode and add the button to it. So I just know I'm like, oh, if I update one page, I have to update all the pages. But fortunately, I don't have that many pages. And maybe one day my site will become so complex and sophisticated that I will need a framework to help make it more reactive. And if that's the case, I'll do that. I'll cross that bridge when we get to a body of water. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. And I kind of like the manual, redundant aspect of updating my site so meticulously. I don't know, I wouldn't use the word meticulous for a lot of the stuff I do, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so I got that. Now I want to update let's see, if I have dark mode and then I go to the art page now and I refresh it, I got, oh, it refreshes. No, this is a glitch preview thing. Let me go here and add that button to after the move. And my work page, add the button to the move. Bum ba dum bum bum. What kind of coding stuff are you all hoping to work on in the new year? I just want to keep my website up to date, and it's not up to date. Like, I haven't updated the art page in quite a while. So got that. Art mode. Let's see, work stuff. Getting a light mode, go home. Cool. And then on my art page, I think I clicked to an airbrush page I haven't updated in a while. Oh, this should be ordered differently. Okay. Let me move the gearbox down. There we go. Okay. I'm still working on the airbrush page, so it's not like I've linked to it on my art page, but it's not like fully done. Like, I have to add this like go home button. Okay. I'm gonna want to update these dialog boxes. So let's do that. Let's see. I want to wrap this up by 4 because Andy and I want to go for a walk before it gets super dark out. I have to figure out what we're gonna want to have for dinner. Okay. Let's see. Stefan says, I've been having good luck using Google Calendar as a journal. Would love to build a better UI for updating it. Oh, that's cool. Summary. So let's do var border and have the background color be var. Make it the same as the button BG. I know that, like I said, like I might want to change this, so I won't do it this way, but I don't care. Let's see what this does. I go to work stuff. There we go. Yeah. Actually, let me be a good role model. Say var summary background, var summary text, and then update those here. Summary BG. I had the background as cyan by default, and summary text black, and then for here I want the background to be the same color as the links. Keep them black. Let's see. Work. I think my work page is the only place where I use these dialogue summary boxes, which are fun. It's cool that CSS enables you to do that without JavaScript. Okay, I'm gonna have Glitch stop yelling at me about... Cool. Okay. So, dark mode, pretty much done. For graph paper, I can change the colors. What I can do here in the JavaScript is I can get the color mode from local storage and say if it's dark, colors equals like this. Or like if it's light, colors equals that. If it's not, then colors equals this. And I can do that real quick, probably. Where am I getting? Oh yeah. I guess if I never change this, I want to call local storage get item, but storage key is set here, and that won't be seen in graph paper unless I set it as a global variable, which is like unnecessary. I'm probably never going to change that. This is the key that shows up in your local storage. So, frick it. We're going to graph color. Colors based on light or dark mode. So fonts mode equals little storage get item, and it was jenschiffer.com mode, and I'll say let colors equal that, because I might change them, so I change const to let, and I'll say if mode equals dark, colors actually equals some set of darker colors. So let's say, for the sake of just like naming colors off the top of my head that I'm not sure are dark, that are not dark, we'll do dark gray, which I think dark gray is lighter than gray. Green. Purple. And let's see what this does. Yeah, there you go. So now I have a custom color set if it's in dark mode, but if it's in light mode, well, the JavaScript's already run. You would have to refresh for that. But that's fine. Now what I can do is say that on click, like on mouse press, do the whole thing here. Like I can put this into a function that's like set colors. And so every time you mouse press, it'll be like, wait a second, what mode are we in right now? Because the page is going to do a refresh. So let me check. And then it will do its thing. In fact, do I want to do that? It's like, it's the right thing to do, but do I want to do it now? I'm going to add it to the list, bookmark that, because I want to get to the Node.js. I want to see if I can get the if there's no JavaScript, hide these buttons things before I close out and get my afternoon coffee. But let me add to the list. So I have Node.js, Bracken's idea, and then change colors on mouse press. On refresh it changes, but okay. Let's go back to this color mode. Document class remove. What is this? Search for that. What is this? Document, that document element. Whatever. Ugh. Maybe. Was this from... Did I come up with this on my own? I could not have. This doesn't feel like a... This feels far too... Oh. Move class from all elements, JavaScript. Yeah, I figure it was a query selector thing. You can patch classless. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I don't know. What the hell? I'm just gonna comment that out so I can search it later on. I wrote that code in Live blog years ago. Okay, so I want to const all elements equal JS only elements query select all Node.js, and for each one of JS only elements I usually like to fill out the whole thing in the callback function. Also set remove no JS. I'm gonna call it JS only. Okay, and then if it's JS only, I want to not display it initially. And then like here, I'll put class equals JS only. And this should show the button. But, oh, this is my art page. This is my work page. There we go. So it shows the button. Inspect. Okay, and the class is removed. Now, if I turn off JavaScript, disable it, that line of code won't actually work. So it won't have the class removed, so it won't display, and so you don't see that dark mode button. I want to do this for all buttons. And while I can say query selector all buttons and then remove them all, I'd rather just really like add the class to everything, because I might add buttons on my page down the line. So I'm okay with copying and pasting this. Oh, I already have a class here. Let me add JS only then to it. And it will just be for now every button, because you can't move. Oh, I already have JS. Oh wait, no, that just went to the top. Well, I just copy and pasted here. Cause like I might have, you can do this for like mobile, for like media queries. Like, oh, if you're on a mobile, on a small screen, don't show this thing. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you can. You can. So this also, like when someone goes to my code later on and is like looking at it, they can see JS only. If they don't think JS means me, then they'll be like, oh, JavaScript only. And this way, when you don't have JavaScript turned on, you can't move or like the buttons won't be there because they don't do anything anyway when you don't have JavaScript turned on. I'm just like repeating myself in order to fill in any dead air because that's what I'm used to doing. Whether I'm on stream or if I'm in a group with a group of people, I'm an air filler. Okay. So I think that see, no buttons, but then we enable JavaScript, we got buttons. Oh, we gotta add it to the dark mode button on the art page. Oh, I accidentally added it to the ID. Whoopsie. Let me make sure I fix all the other things. One cool thing about your personal website is you can fully test everything before you put things out into the world. Not that you can't do that at work, but sometimes your app is so large, if you don't have the right amount of tests, you end up putting something out that breaks things. Nice, nice, nice. Cool. Okay. Dark mode's done. Node.js is done. And then it's 3:34. I've been streaming for an hour and 36 whopping minutes. How's everyone doing? Is anyone still there? I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna go back to, I can't do Bracken's idea of like photo with or without sunglasses. That involves some photography work. But what I can do is go back to changing the colors on mouse press. So right now it changes on refresh, but we want to change this mode. So let me cut that out. You're drawing in dark mode on my center array. That's cool. You know, what's cool about this is you can open the image in a new tab and you'll have the drawing. And that's cool. Your browser will just say open image in new tab. But the background of the page comes from HTML. The drawing has just the grid and a transparent background. So if you drew it and you're like, oh, I want it to be dark, Photoshop it or something. I don't know. Currently trying to get your controller to work with the Dolphin emulator. Oh wait, okay, let's go back here. Okay, let colors equal that, and I'm gonna move mode down here. Down here. Okay, so the colors are back to that being my default, and then on mouse press it changes first it changes colors. I had it moving, now I have it random. Update colors based on real-time mode. Ah, don't delete. Tab. Woo, prettier. Okay, let's see if I forked it up. Okay, so by default, it came from the default colors, and then it was like when I mouse pressed again, it changed the colors. That didn't do anything. Was there an error? No. Let's see. Oh, okay. We're gonna have to make a function and call the function by default, and then yeah, anyway. So we'll want to update colors array based on mode. I'm breaking the site right now in real time. This is like me editing production. Oh, did I put 2024? Ha! You know, I was joking with my friend Jimmy earlier today. I was like, I'm still writing 1992 on my checks. Okay, there you go. 5. Thank you, Mike, for calling that up. What the frick did I just do? I just changed the whole thing to say 5. There you go. Okay, back to graph paper. Okay, update colors array based on mode. So I want to call a function update mode colors. That function doesn't exist yet. So let's see. And I'm just gonna call on page load update mode colors. There we go, there we go. Dark mode. Oh yeah, it was mouse press. Mouse press, update mode colors. Color index. Does it update back when... Am I just not refreshing the page right? Then that changes. And if I go to light mode... So it's not happening at the right moment, I guess? Oh, you know what it is? I was like, if it's that, then those are the colors. If it's not, then okay. We're gonna do const light colors equals that. Dark colors equals this ugly set of stuff. We're gonna let colors equals light colors. And then... Oh, Stefan, thanks for joining. Happy birthday, by the way. Happy New Year. Colors equals... dark colors. Else. Oh, you know what? Mode equals dark. Colors equals... We're doing a ternary statement. Dark colors. I'll start to be light colors. Okay. Dark mode. Okay. So it doesn't... Oh, I guess when I click it, the mode hadn't changed yet. Okay. So it's like on mouse press for this is happening, and then the dark mode stuff happens. So local storage hadn't been updated yet. Okay. So that's an interesting thing, but it's just the first drawing. Then eventually then changes the mode. It should be... So this is mouse press on the canvas. It should be on dark mode click. So really what graph paper needs to do is I have to say, for an event, I have to get the dark mode button and update the colors there. But right now I'm just doing mouse press on canvas. We're gonna put a big to-do on this. I don't feel like doing this right now. To-do. Change mode colors on mode button click, not P5 mouse press. But for now, this gets the job done. Oh gosh, I forgot like the emoji keyboard still doesn't work well on Firefox. And so I have to like pop the emoji in another app. Usually it's in like an iMessage with someone else. And then paste it. There you go. Because me and all the code I write are Italian. Cool. This color array is freaking hideous. So I'm going to my favorite website ever, W3 Schools color names, because they just show it the best visually. Okay, we're doing indigo. Doing indigo. We're doing midnight blue. Indigo. Midnight blue. We're doing maroon. That's probably gonna look fucking hideous. We'll keep purple in there. Let's replace maroon with dark violet. Yes. Dark violet. Oh, we need dark slate blue in there. I'm gonna replace purple with that. By the way, now's a good time to like and subscribe because I abandoned my entire following on Twitch so I can come to YouTube, because Twitch is nothing's aligned with my values anymore, but Twitch isn't, and I accidentally I girl bossed my way too close to the sun and made affiliate on Twitch, and then realized, oh, now Amazon's adding ads and encouraging people to pay me through subscriptions, which I don't want, and it wouldn't let me turn it off. And I don't want to give Amazon any more money, because if you were to give money, it should go directly to me and not Andy Jassy and all those freaking fucks. So I was like, well, I guess I just can't stream on Twitch anymore. So here I'm on YouTube. So if you follow me on Twitch, no more. Follow me on here, because I plan on streaming more, because I've got the time. This is a color scheme. Actually, this makes me like my dark mode. Actually, what is... You know what? Oh, fuck it. I want that to be the mode for every page. Okay. Anyway, this is cool. That leaves the one item on the list. We got dark mode. Maybe in the next stream I'll get my progressive web app status back up again. But I think that's where I'm going to end things. Like, subscribe. I will be streaming more often, probably a couple of times a week. All different things, not just code. I've been showing off candles. I did some painting late last week. Last week I showed candles and I painted. But I'm Jen at pixel.kitchen on Mastodon. That's where I'm posting my updates. And you go to jenschiffer.com, which lists like all my socials. I should probably update my newsletter to let people know I've been streaming on Twitch. YouTube, not Twitch. But yeah, thank you for joining. Hope you have a happy new year. I'm gonna go take a nice walk, even though outside it looks like it's getting a little gray and dreary, and it's close to 4, so of course it's gonna look like 9 p.m. in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna get my first almond milk iced latte of 2025, and then probably do some painting alone, just myself. So yeah, happy new year. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time on jenschiffer.com. Bye.